the history of Duncan is really an incredible history, how dominant it has been and how dominant it still remains. And yes, they are vital to keeping the yo-yo movement going. He was a marketing genius. And what he did was, and this was in the very, very early 30s, William Randolph Hearst controlled the majority of newspapers in the United States, and Duncan went in and said, listen, I have an idea for increasing your subscriptions to your newspapers. And so what Duncan proposed was, in the newspapers, they have a lot of white space where they just don't have enough stuff to fill the newspaper, so they just throw in the, gimmicky articles about something just to fill it. He says, you give me the white space to advertise my yo-yo contest, and what we'll do is we'll say to enter the yo-yo contest, the person that enters has to sell 2 to 3 subscriptions to your newspaper. And the one kid that actually had money was the newspaper boys. And here was the newspaper running the contest, and there were big prizes involved, and Hearst gave Duncan Chicago. Well, in a 6-week period, they sold 50,000 new subscriptions to that newspaper. And Hearst says, that's it. This is a brilliant idea. You've got all my newspapers. And so that just gave Duncan market dominance over everybody else. And from that point on, Duncan has, of course, pretty much dominated the yo-yo industry.
So we went to Chicago and met Donald F. Duncan and found him to be the most wonderful guy.
And he went down there, and he said he was in a group of young children, and he walked up to this one little boy, a little freckle-faced boy, he said, and he asked him, what kind of yo-yo you got there? And the little boy said, a Duncan, what else?
I was driving to a contest spot, and I couldn't get close. And when I got there, there was probably close to 2,000 people there.
The crowds you wouldn't believe. We would have to have, for a contest, we'd have to have police escorts to get the crowd back enough so that we could get a contest going.
For over 80 years, Duncan's heritage of the traveling demonstrator is still very much alive. And from the beginning, their demonstrators have been world-class yo-yo players. From the old school to the new school, it's really an honor to be a part of such a rich history.
Duncan has done a great job of being innovative, and it's that innovation and all that, that's what is driving the market now. And we've seen some of the companies that have come up that I thought were going to be major competitors against them, and when the dust settles, there's Duncan.